Hey guys, how's it going? For today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 ways to come up with a map for your novel. Now, this video isn't going to go into detail about how to create that map and make a finished, polished version of it. This is going to be how to basically draft your map. I might make a video at a later date about like actual map making tutorial or program software to use, but for now, step 1 is how to decide what this map is going to be. The first method is one that I've only used once. It's not my favorite, but I thought I'd put it in here anyways, and it's the dice method. Basically, you take a mixed bag of dice, as many as you need, you shake them all up, you throw them down on a table, and you trace the map around that. You can decide that certain numbers mean certain things, like say 1s and 2s are forests, the larger numbers can be bigger cities, etc. I'll show a demonstration on how to do this. I realized while editing this that the pencil really doesn't show up on camera as well as I would like, so I'm really sorry about that. Next time I'll use a marker, but I hope that it's enough to at least get the example across. Now for this method, you'll need either a large piece of paper or a barricade, because sometimes dice go everywhere, as I have learned many times. Okay, so now we're going to trace it. Just gonna move this so I can put my pencil in there. Doom-ba-doom. Now I'm gonna say that really small numbers will be like lakes or ponds. So I want to say that's a 1, so let's draw a little lake here. Here's a 1. Let's draw a little lake here. And here's a 1. Now let's say that 2 are mountains. So 2. This is how I'm going to draw mountains. Here. I like using my D20s for major cities. Since this one is a 19, I'm going to decide that this is the capital. And I'm going to say that this is the small city where the hero comes from. And you know what? Here is another big number. So I'm going to say this is another city. Yeah, I'm going to turn this into an X. This can be another city. Ooh, dozier, so that one's important. So I'm gonna say that something important happens here, but I don't know what yet. All right, I need 4, so I'm gonna say the 3s are forests. You know what, my world has a lot of forests, so I'm going to say that this 4, for example, will be a bigger forest. And this 6 will be a very big forest. There. So this is my map, and of course you can change and adjust it however you need to. Now this obviously works better the more dice you have laying around and the more variety of dice you have. So this won't work for everybody, but I just thought that I would throw it in here real quick just to give you one extra idea. The second way to come up with a map for your novel is to loosely base it off somewhere as you know, and I emphasize loosely. In one of the novels, my main city's layout is very loosely based off the city that I worked in. It helped me keep the travel time a lot better in my head, and especially with like large-scale fantasy or other genres, sometimes travel time is something we have a little bit of trouble with. So if you base things off places you know, it'll kind of help you a little bit. Like say for example, I know that driving from this city to this city takes about this long, and a horse can travel this much faster than a car, so it should take them this long to get there or something. Also, it just helps you picture it better in your head. So how you would actually draw this, you can look up a real map of whatever city, country, whatever you're basing it off of, and draw a loose version of that by hand. Don't trace it because you don't want this to be an exact replica. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, like an Easter egg or something, but I always just kind of draw a very loose version of that. Mark some places that I know, landmarks that will help me remember things, and you don't have to keep it the exact same. Like, I'm writing a fantasy story. Like, I'm not going to keep it, okay, McDonald's is on this street and Tim Hortons is on this street and it takes 20 minutes to walk between them, so I'm going to put McDonald's here and Tim Hortons there and that'll be my guideline. Like, you can say, okay, this is the palace and this is, I don't know, so-and-so's house or the market or something like that. But if you kind of have that landmark in your head, it'll kind of help you get into your world a little bit better. And as always, the better that you know your world, the better that will translate in the book to your readers. The third method, and my personal favorite, is to come up with it as you go. Now, I think this will also be the easiest if you are a pantser, but while I'm writing, I have a blank piece of loose leaf beside me. Grid paper also works really, really well because with all the squares, it's a lot easier to kind of judge distances and stuff. But whatever you have is fine, and you just have that beside you, and as you mention cities, write them down. So say your story is taking place in one city and they mention another city, decide where on the map that is, whatever makes sense for the context, or just completely random if they're just throwing it away, and put that on the map. And then every time you mention a different place or anytime they travel, add that onto there. And first of all, it's going to make it so that you don't accidentally have two cities that are on top of each other, and it's going to help your continuity. But it also takes a lot of the stress out of making a map. I know a lot of people get a little bit overwhelmed with map making because they get really into it and really detailed and overwhelmed, and your map can be super simple. It can be, you know, a wobbly outline and a couple X's, and that's fine. If that's all your novel needs, cool. Remember, this is going to be the draft, so it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. This is basically going to be for you so that you can keep your world in your head a little bit easier and just have something to reference. So I hope that this was helpful. Like I said, I will probably make a video down the line on how to actually create these maps. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments so I know kind of how much to prioritize that. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button so I know, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. I make new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, usually reading or writing related. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!